So I'm going to be explaining all the code at the very end. I'm going to be solving it with and without default dictionary, and I'll explain all that. But I would recommend reading my pseudocode first, and we're going to be solving 49 group anagrams. So first, let's create a dictionary. A dict equals, and we're going to loop over each string in strings because we have to group them, and we have to obviously loop over them. So for each string in strings. And we're going to create 26 buckets for each letter in the alphabet. I'll explain that later on too. So count. We want to assign the default value to be 0 for each bucket because there is no letters that we have yet. And we want to loop for each character over each string. For character in string. And we are going to actually do the code real quick. I'll explain all this in the last part of the code. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new key and make it into immutable tuple so it can't be changed. So key equals tuple. And now what we're going to do is we are going to check if the key even exists in the dictionary, because with regular dictionaries, keys are not assigned. You can't assign anything to a key without a value. It has to be explicitly stated before. We don't have a value yet. So I'll have to check if the key even is in there, if the key is in, if the key not in. It's not in the dictionary yet. We have to assign it a value. We got it. And now we have to create an empty value, which we just did, and then append it to the string. So we have to key equals append. Append to the string, and this is a new value because we left it empty. Now all we gotta do is return. If we return it as a list, since it's explicitly stated that it's a list. Okay. Oh. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to do it with default dictionary. So here we import default. Oh shoot. From collections, import default dict. And we have to make it as a list because they are mutable. We want it mutable so we can add strings to each key. And we don't need this at all, since with default dictionary it auto creates values for us. It creates an empty list of that. So let's do a dict key dot append s. Boom. So now I'll explain it. Okay, so without using default dictionary, we can't do this because what this basically is saying right now is get this key, which doesn't even exist yet. This is the first loop over something we're even doing, because with dictionaries, regular dictionaries, they don't automatically have a value attached to them like they will with default dictionary. So it's saying get this key, which doesn't exist at all, and append this value to it. We can't do that yet. Regular dictionaries do not auto-create keys. You have to assign a value to a key before using it. So first, we have to create an empty value. As you can see here, that's what we got to check first, if the key even exists in the dictionary yet, and then we have to assign it an empty value, and then append the string to it. But you need to put the water down. Alright, and with this, With default dictionary, the key auto creates a value, which is just an empty set of brackets right there. So we can just append the string to it right away. And why we use OR is pretty interesting. I'm just going to call it the ASCII values, alright? So the alphabet has 26 letters, so we have to make 26 buckets for each letter. And since arrays start at 0 and go to 25, we use the ASCII values. A is 97 on the ASCII value chart. You can look it online or whatever. And they go up by one letter each. Like, for example, B is 98. So if, I don't know, we had a letter like Bob, for example, like a string like Bob, for example, it would go B, negative A, so 98 minus 7, and 97 is 1. And it would go right here. Guess where B is. A would be right here, B is right here. And it adds this, like for this letter, increases count by 1. It increases it, and that's how we're going to keep track of the key. We're going to create an individual key, as you can see here. Like for Apple, the key would be this, because P occurs 2 times, and P is way far down in the alphabet here. But this would also have the exact same key, because we're looping over each one, we're counting each character in a string. As you can see here, this is what the list would look like. And yeah, that's really all you need to know. I know these are kind of terrible explanations, but this is more for my own deeper understanding than it is for you, as mean as that sounds.